Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dion's Daily Dose for Tuesday, August 24th. Uh, so, I want to talk about several things today. I do have to provide a few caveats first, disclaimers, if you will, just just to make sure everybody understands. I have chosen to homeschool my child. I'll get to that story. That may or may not be what's right for your child. Obviously, do what's best for your child and best for your family. I am going to share some resources with you that shows you exactly how easy it is to homeschool, especially in the state of Indiana. Uh, Again, that choice is yours. Personally, for my family, especially for my child, homeschooling has turned out to be the best option for him. So let's dive into this, and I'll tell you what happened. So I went to the uh, Michigan City School Board meeting. They, of course, are mandating masks, regardless of how you feel about that. My child has sensory integration issues. He cannot physically wear a mask all day. He just can't do it. So they offer a virtual option. We signed up for that. And first of all, they're about a week behind. Let's start off with that. There were some issues with people who did not, I guess, have a Chromebook yet, who were not able to be signed up, et cetera, et cetera. So they put everybody on hold. Now, bear in mind that there's different rules depending on what grade level your child is in for the virtual academy. There's K through 6 and then 7 through 12. The 7 through 12 stuff is not on a schedule. It is supposed to be work at your own pace. Everything should be available and the child can go and do whatever they need to do. Why this had to be pushed back a week because certain people didn't have Chromebooks, I don't know, but fine. There was very little information as to how the virtual academy would work. There was not much told until, again, a week later, the school actually commenced. Okay, fine. They send out the information. They give the students the login stuff. He gets logged in. He's looking at stuff. There are several concerning things in here. The first of which, let me get my elbow off here. Yeah, keep this thing from bouncing around. Sorry. The first thing is it specifically states that no information is allowed to be shared. Nothing. No assignments, no communications, no video, no pictures, nothing. And it doesn't specify with whom. It says to anyone. It doesn't exclude parents, anything. It just says the student cannot share any information with anyone. Now, that was a big red flag to me. But okay, maybe we can find out more information about this. The next real issue was every single aspect of schooling has to be done on the school issued Chromebook. Now, these Chromebooks, if any of you have children that have been issued these Chromebooks, you know these Chromebooks suck. They're very, very slow. They're not high quality. They're cheap. They're in many cases, the cheapest that they could come up with. And I get that. I understand that. But they pack these computers with monitoring software and spyware programs so that they can monitor what the child does on these Chromebooks. Again, not necessarily opposed to that. But it slows this thing down to a crawl. Now, I have a computer. Obviously, I'm on it. I'm talking to you right now. Excuse me. I communicate with the school district, the virtual academy, and on up the chain to find out, okay, is there anything that I can do that will allow my child to complete these assignments on a working computer, on an up-to-date, decent rig? I was told unequivocally, no. Everything they do has to be on that Chromebook. Okay, that's a problem. We had so many issues last year with him trying to do stuff online with these Chromebooks and trying to do assignments and screenshot them and take pictures and email the teacher, and teacher says he didn't get it, blah, 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 blah. Ultimately, talked to my wife, I talked to my son, And we sat down at length and we determined that, you know what, the very best thing for us as a family and him as a student is to take over the burden of my child's education myself. This is actually going to prevent a lot of issues for me. Number one, I'm in charge of what he learns. Yes, I have to generally follow the accepted subjects, as it were. I'll show you exactly what the law says. But the short version is I can pick what my child learns. I can pick what aspects of history are most important for him to be aware of. All these things contributed to that. And me personally, I'm feeling great about that decision. His first reading assignment is Animal Farm. We're going to get before I get to this. The wife wanted it to be 1984. I said, okay, that's a little heavy to start with. Let's make it in my opinion, Animal Farm is much easier and simpler to get into. It's much shorter. We'll get to 1984, don't worry, but let's start with a little easier. So there are many, many resources out there for prospective homeschooling parents. Whoops. Wrong one. There we go. I highly recommend you visit hslda.org. That is actually the Indiana Homeschool Association. That's their legal department, whatever. You'll notice this map here. There's very little regulation over homeschool in Indiana, which I personally love. I'm thrilled about that because we should be in charge of our child's education. We should be unrestricted in the way that we want our children to learn. There are no state mandated things. Here is, that's a video, but ultimately you go here, you go to state homeschool laws, click on Indiana, and it tells you there are videos that you can follow, how to homeschool in Indiana, what's the compulsory school age, public school access, special education provisions, how to withdraw your school. It'll walk you through everything step by step. Here's the main thing that I want to share with you, and then we'll move on. There is no specific course outline for a child that is homeschooled. There are general requirements. The most important thing is attendance. You have to show that your child attended school for approximately 180 days throughout the year. That's the big thing. You also have to keep very, very good records as to, there's a little fly in here, man, that is driving me nuts. I tried to get him before, but he wouldn't stop. There are very open laws and regulations regarding homeschooling. So look into that if that's right for you. And I do want to say this is in no way, shape, or form a reflection of Michigan City area schools. I'm sure they're doing the best they can. It just doesn't work for us. It's in no way a reflection of the teachers that he had this year. He didn't even get a chance to talk to them. As a matter of fact, I do want to point out, when we went to the school to withdraw him, because you have to officially pull your child out of the school, one of his teachers from the previous year was there, recognized him immediately. Hey, Donovan, how you doing? Seems like great people. So if you're a teacher and you want to send me some resources, I'm not going to turn it down. Remember, always here. I'm always willing to admit that I'm not an expert on everything. I will be more than happy to listen to anything that you have to say. If you have any recommendations or whatever. Moving on, there's some very, very disturbing things that I am hearing and reading. I am seeing videos of people who claim that farmers are being paid to destroy their crops. It kind of slides along a scale. Generally, they're being paid 1.5 times the amount that they get. They're not going to receive subsidies if they don't. I cannot speak to the accuracy of these videos. I didn't make them. I don't know who made them. But I will show you one thing that's actually very interesting. I did not look on Google because Google sucks. But if you go to Bing and you type in farmers paid to destroy crops, there are pages and pages and pages of articles, of videos, of things that are extremely concerning. I'm going to share one of these videos that I was sent with you. It's a little long, but I think it's worth watching. Again, there are so many posts about this that it is legitimately concerning. So this was forwarded to me. I'm going to do my best to get the microphone in here so you can hear this. But this is extremely concerning to me. Here we go.
So me and my coworker got talking today, and something came up that I didn't really think about when my dad mentioned it to me. He's worked in the agriculture industry for over 40 years. This year, farmers are being offered 1.5 times the value of their crops to destroy them. They're also being told by the federal government they will not receive subsidies for farming if they refuse to destroy their crops. What does that mean? That means that the farmer cannot afford to provide you with food based upon the taxes the government is levying on him if the government doesn't in turn give him back his tax money to provide you with food. Kind of a fucked up system, but that's how it works. And, well, they're not going to subsidize them if they don't destroy the crops. They'll pay them more than what it's worth, and they want them to destroy it, and they'll still get their subsidies. They're trying to create a food shortage. We've got 8 months to get our own food supply. We're probably going to be facing mass starvation.
Is it true that the government is paying farmers to destroy their crops? And the simple answer to that is yes, they are.
Initially heard about the government paying farmers to destroy their crops, I thought it was a load of bullshit. Well, lo and behold, we received our destruction notice the other day.
I'll pause here just for a moment. I'm going to let you guys know the audio goes up and down, sometimes quite loud. I'm doing my best to regulate the volume, but again, doing my best. Here you go.
So basically there was two options on how to destroy the crop. The government could fly on Agent Orange, or we could manually destroy the crop ourselves. We put too much blood, sweat, and tears in it to let them destroy it, so we decided to manually do it ourselves. Basically, it said if we used a lawnmower to destroy the crop, we could receive an extra $600 an acre. Something about the low carbon footprint or something. So that's what we're doing.
I got my letter yesterday. The letter asking you to destroy some crop. Along with the letter, I had to sign for a certified package, which included these two binders, and then of course this 3-ring binder on how to properly dispose of your crops. And as you can tell, it's on government paper. And as you can tell, this here is the affected area in my section of the county, closest town, and of course you can't run away where you live. So from the county tracts, then they break it down into these individual farm tracts that you have to destroy. And you can see the crop or the field. So
this is the second machine that I dropped off here for the local farmers. Just want to show you a little bit of each drum. You got 4 of these drums, 2 on each side. Now you can imagine the damage they can do, not counting the blade, which you can set down. So this will be the first field that we take care of. So all we're going to do is mash everything into the ground. And then I'm going to go pick up some steel plates, lay them across the road plates, so we can get the machines over there, start on that farm. So the farmers got paid by the government. I don't understand what it's all about, but they got paid. Now they hired us to come in here and just destroy whatever we can. I don't understand how it all works, but we're already paid for a certain amount of time. You can hear the first machine already running out there. So when you hear them farmers saying they're getting paid to destroy everything, they ain't bullshitting y'all. Y'all better start paying attention.
Well, what you saw right there ought to concern you. I was doing exactly what I was told via a letter I got last night in the mail from the Department of Hydrocarbons.
Now this one's a little different. And again, I cannot speak to the accuracy of these. Look them up. I don't know. But it was sent to me. I found it disturbing. I want to share it with you so that at least you're aware. And then after this is over, we'll get in. Apparently this has to do with oil. This is a whole other thing. And again, is concerning. Here you go.
They said in order to stabilize oil prices, they need a bunch of oil just dumped, and not dumped on the market, just dumped on lease roads and field roads and things like that. So I'm hooked up to that oil tank, going straight into my truck to get rid of it. Well, I'm going to get fined if I don't get rid of it, they said. So that prompted me to call District Selectman Tony Deloge and ask him about this letter. He said he didn't know much about it, but he would suggest that I follow whatever it says. So here we go. You know, these are some serious times right now. Since January, oil prices have been through the roof. I'm seeing more and more farmers on TikTok saying that the government's paying them to kill their fields. Agent Orange, I saw a guy with a lawnmower mowing down beans, getting paid to do it. They're controlling food. Now they're going to control energy. I don't understand why this is going on. But I tell you what, if they control food and they control energy, what freedom do you have left? Man, isn't this something?
I'm sorry about the music. I'm going to recap. This is the container that was in the video yesterday, and we have unloaded the container. Freight is setting at ports. It is not moving, and we're talking ports around the world. Now, the freight that was on this container was shipped 37 days ago. This is that freight behind me. Somebody is intentionally hindering freight from moving back and forth. There are ports that are stacked. The directive is let it set. Let it set. I reached out to my largest customer, this customer, and that's what I was told, that the directive is let it set. We are definitely going to experience shortages, the likes of which you have never seen.
They're trying to keep me quiet. I need you guys to blow this up and stop scrolling. Control the food supply, control the people. This is what's happening. This is the truth. As a fourth-generation farmer, I am hearing cries across the United States. The Biden administration introduced the 3030 bill, saying that it is a climate change bill, a conservation bill. But if you look deeper, and if you really research what they're trying to do in Nebraska, it is disgusting. Why the hell does the government want 1.16 million acres in Nebraska? Because 97% of Nebraska is privately owned, so they're taking from farmers and ranchers and hardworking Americans. And by 2030, they want to take 680 million acres across the United States, kill family farms, control the food supply, control the people. Are you guys ready to stand up?
So one of the things we're going to be talking about this week is the apparent fresh food shortage that's going to hit Europe and the UK over the next few weeks and months. This has been completely orchestrated, and it's absolutely terrible that this is likely to be happening right now. There is plenty of fresh food being grown at the moment all over Europe. We have no shortages. Farmers have no shortages, despite the weather changes that we've been having recently. There is an awful lot of fresh produce in the fields at the moment, as you can see behind me. This is purposely going to be bought in bulk and destroyed to create an apparent food shortage. Folks, start listening, wake up. There is no food shortage.
Yo, excuse my sexiness. I have some breaking news. So, right now, the federal government is offering farmers 1.5 times the amount that their crops are worth to destroy them. I know it sounds crazy, but just look it up. Don't use Google because they filter your searches. Use DuckDuckGo, and you'll be able to find reliable information about this. Anyway, and if the farmers refuse to do this, then that same government will refuse to give them subsidies. I truly believe they're creating a food shortage, or they're going to. Can't prove it. Just look into what I'm saying, make up your own mind. But just to err on the side of caution, get some food, dried food, get water, be prepared. Even if it's not going to happen, shit's getting weird and we all need to prepare.
So me and my coworker got.
Okay. So again, I can't tell you if this is happening or not. I can tell you that based on what I've seen, it's extremely concerning. So what do we do, right? Well, I've been talking to the wife for quite a while now and trying to come up with a plan to buy direct from farmers. Personally, I detest shopping at major retailers anyway, especially some of them like Walmart. I detest Walmart. I hate Walmart with the fire of a thousand suns. I will not shop there unless I absolutely have no choice. I desperately need something, and it's the only thing available. I've yelled at the wife multiple times for shopping there. She usually doesn't, though. I'm going to be honest. It's very, very rare. So what do we do, right? Let's work together. Let's talk to our community farmers. Let's get not just the farmers market on the weekend, but let's buy our meat directly from them. Let's buy grains directly from them. I want to try to get something like that going. Now, if this exists already and I'm just missing it, let me know. I do know that there are a few isolated groups that'll get together and buy a side of beef or whatever. I'm talking about a sustainable, full model where we buy as much as we can directly from the farmer. Not only will this help the farmer, because I'm perfectly willing to pay what I'd pay in a supermarket to the farmer. This cuts out the middleman. They can get retail prices rather than wholesale prices. Personally, I think it's a great idea. If you'd like to help, if you know someone who's already doing this, by all means, let me know. So the last little thing that I have for you today is an update on trying to find out what is going on with this Delta surge, right? So I have called the Indiana State Department of Health multiple times. I have left voicemails for multiple people. I have been given the runaround. I have been told to contact 211. I told them I already contacted 211. They couldn't answer your questions? No. And I even passed along. I'm like, here are the questions that I have. And the lady's like, those are excellent questions. They couldn't help you on 211? No. They actually recommended that I call this person and this person. You can check the other video to see everything that I've done. I have left voicemails for at least 3 people individually, and I have spoken to many people who have shuffled me to several different places, right? What are we as citizens supposed to think when the government will not answer our questions? I'm going to attempt to continue inquiring into this, to continue making phone calls, to continue looking online. There is no information that I have been able to find that tells me what tests are being done. The only way to tell if something is generic COVID or Delta variant COVID is a genetic sequencing test, right? Our local health department does not run those tests. They've assured me that we send everything downstate. Okay. The State Department of Health will not answer any questions about the degree of tests that are run, what percentage of the tests that get sent are run through a genetic sequencer, how far back are we? Are we running stuff from March? Are we running stuff from August? Do they run them all? What's the story here? They do not want to answer. That alone concerns me. All I want to know is this Delta fear is being pushed. Okay, what's the science, right? Follow the science. What's the science behind it? Where is the data? What we're being assured? Just trust us. I want to see the actual data. I don't think that's too much to ask. And the funny thing is every single person that I've spoken to on both 211 and going through the Indiana Department of Health has assured me that those are reasonable questions, that there's no reason that someone shouldn't be able to answer those questions. I don't think it's asking too much to find out what the process is. What's going on here? Why are we, the citizens who pay the taxes for these people to do what they do, being denied answers to what I believe are very fundamental questions, very important questions? So I'll leave you with that. It's absolutely important that each of us understand and recognize, A, what our rights are, and B, what we can do to utilize those rights to bring about fundamental change in our government. And that's really what I'm all about. Using our rights that are God-given, not given by the state, but God-given rights to affect fundamental change in our government, from federal all the way down to county, city, etc. We're going to dive more into that, but back to another story that I had. I want to give you an update on that. I actually have Spencer Lemons, who is a Hammond police officer and ran for United States Congress in 2020. He's going to be joining us on Thursday. We're going to talk to him about the training that he's received, some other questions for him. But I think it's going to be a great interview because I had posted a video about how police officers unfortunately don't know how to deal with those on the spectrum, right? The mentally ill, stuff like that. How much training do they receive? Is it enough? And Spencer, pointed out that at least his department hasn't received any training at all on this. I think that's a fundamental question that needs to be asked and answered. I'm communicating with Michigan City Police Department, LaPorte County Police Department, as to what training they receive. I've gotten a little information, but I want to put it all together and compile something. Not sure if I'll tie it in directly in that show or if we'll just focus on talking to Spencer. I think we'll probably do the latter. Thanks for joining me. It is really, really hot today. My AC isn't even keeping up. So appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. Hey, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up or share it or something. Obviously, the more conservative they pick up on my views, the less this seems to be shared and viewed. So thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you all very soon. God bless you. God bless Indiana. And God bless the United States of America.